What's going on, you guys? Slim here with a new video today, and today, you guys, we're going to go over LCS 13, go over the team that won. It was Team B, Hess. I love the name. Shout out to the three of you that won. Player A played Dragon Link, player B played Prank Kids, as well as player C played Prank Kids. There was a couple of variations in the deck, but as always, we're going to go over the decks in just detail, just let you guys know why I feel they won LCS 13. I think a lot of players were taken back that Prank Kids did so well. The representation was up and stuff, so I think it's really awesome. So we're going to hop into it and see why the deck has done so well. So as always, if you guys are new here, consider subscribing, hit that notification bell. You guys will be notified whenever I upload. You'll also be notified when I stream over on Twitch. Links in the description. While you're down there, consider joining my Discord community. If you want to purchase any of the cards that I talk about today to build decks in general, please use my TCG player link as well as my Gem Accessories affiliate link. As a portion of what you spend there will go back to the channel. It helps me out and I really do appreciate it. And last but not least, if you further want to support me at the channel, consider becoming a channel member by clicking the join button or by becoming one of my Patreons. With all that out of the way, you guys, we're going to hop into it. Player A did play Dragon Link. It's a very, very standard list, very standard approach. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it. Honestly, it's just like the most basic stuff. And again, this being the best deck of the format, one of the most represented decks of the format, if not the most represented deck of the format, pretty much the equation has been solved for this deck. This deck has been solved, and basically, you know, the only things that really matter are how many copies of Chamber Dragon Maid, how many copies of Tidying, are you main decking Phantasme, are you main decking Dark Ruler, like all of that stuff has pretty much become standard. The other hand trap being Ash, like all the other stuff is there though. For the rockets, you have the one Absa router, and then you have the one recharger, 2 rocket synchron, 2 rocket tracer. Some play 3, some don't. It just really depends on what avenue they're going for. A lot of players have opted for the 40 card build. They found a way to make it the most consistent build possible, main decking the Call by the Grave to make sure all your plays go through. This deck already plays through hand traps, but also having Call by the Grave. If you go uninterrupted, you have another interruption with Call by the Grave, and the rest of this stuff is just standard. Like, honestly, there's not too much I can say. Every Dragon Link list that I've looked at or talked about on the channel is basically the skeleton has been set for it, and then, you know, like I said, you just kind of optimize it to how you're liking. You don't really have too many flex spots. Like, mostly it's just, you know, are you main decking Phantasme? Are you what are your hand traps? And are you main decking Dark Ruler? Do you have the room for the Call by the Grave? Are you playing 3 safer? Like, it's just very little small stuff like that. So yeah, so there was one Dragon Link, and then in the side, like even the side, there's not really too much to talk about. Lancia is standard, Droll is standard. Mirror Match, Dinos, Invoke, just decks in general. Lancia is just good in the format as always. Triple Tactic Talents, that could be the only thing up for debate, is do you main deck the talents, do you side the talents? Like, it really just, you know, it really is just up to the player, but talents is just good either in the main or side. So this player chose to optimize putting it in the side so it works, and then back row removal in Twin. Twin seems to be like the main card they're going for, because you need to be able to quick react to what your opponent does. Being able to use Twin in the standby is super important against a lot of matchups. So yeah, Twin is great. Same thing with Cosmic. They chose for Twin here just to get more bang for their buck. And then anti-spell and order, basically you play, instead of playing 3 anti-spell, you play 2 anti-spell in an order. Basically the same thing, just lock out all the spells and you'll win. And in the extra deck, there is literally nothing to talk about. This is the carbon copy extra deck that like every Dragon Link player plays. The flex spot, I think most people say, is Appaloosa, but I think that's actually become pretty standard, so I can't even really speak too much on Appaloosa. But yeah, so there's the copy of Appaloosa, I guess, is the 15th spot. But shout out to player A though for playing Dragon Link and bringing it to a victory. Now, what everyone came here for. So the next 2 lists are Prank Kids, and they are slightly different, just a couple variations, but we're going to talk about this as like the main focus that I wanted to talk about today, is that, yeah, Prank Kids have another title under their belt. It's actually pretty crazy. Prank Kids are insane. Hanko Chow has proven that, as well as other you know, high level players have shown that how good this deck is. 1 card engine, play a ton of hand traps. I think the thing that really stands out here to me is the Super Poly. Like, that is just insane, but we'll get into it because this is, again, the main focus. Hand traps are triple Ash, triple Droll, triple Nib. Honestly, this just takes care of the format. It cleans up every deck. Dragon Link being the most represented, these hand traps are excellent against it. All your Prank Kids, it seems that 2 Roxys has become the norm now, not even 3. You opt for the 11 1-card starters. You also have Prank Kids placing stuff to search them, so you have more starters than that. Triple Cosmic, this is just good back row removal, very good against Shaddoll Schism. You need to have an out to that card, so this card is great, very good against Lost World in the Dino matchup. Just good in general, like good back row removal that's quick play and it also banishes the problem. Instant Fusion is just standard in the deck. Desires is pretty standard in the deck. I know some players choose not to play Desires, but when you play so many 3-ofs, you need that plus, and Desires gives you that +1, so it's fantastic. Triple Pandemonium has become standard. You know, you just want to fuse. Two Prank Kids place. That's, again, has become kind of the norm of 2 place, 2 pranks. Just really good utilization cards. And then the cool thing here, the thing that really stood out, is the super polymerization in the main deck. Like, this is actually crazy. If you look at the extra deck, they accounted for Dragon Link, they accounted for Dragoon, they accounted for a lot of stuff. Super Poly is an absolute just monster of a card. You actually get value in this deck. Like, it's just so insane. Like, you can use it just on your opponent's board, just break their board with Super Poly. Then you only need 1 Prank Kid to go off. Like, that's actually crazy. You could literally Super Poly the problem, summon a Prank Kid, go into Meow Meow Mew, and your combo begins. So I think this was just a fantastic call by player B, and I believe player C side decked it, but yeah, this in the main deck is just absolutely crazy for Prank Kids, so I really like this. And then Ice Dragon's Prison, again, it's like the best trap card, one of the best trap cards of the format, so main decking it is very strong. You can use it against almost every deck in the format, so I really like that a lot. So it's a clean 40. Side deck, you got the 1 Pankratops and the Gambas, like going second and stuff like that, along with the triple Dark Ruler. Back row removal in the form of Duster, triple Twins, and then going first, triple Judgment to just say no to your opponent. Extra deck is 3 Meow Meow Mew. That's standard now. They opted for 3 copies of Doodle Doo. Again, that's just something that, you know, different Prank Kids players will play 2. Most lists will play 2. If you play 3, it's just for the extra grind game. Just a really good card. The 1 copy of Bow Wow Bark, the 2 Nightmares and Phoenix and Unicorn, access code Talker to end games, Super Poly Target and Predaplant Dragostapelia, then your standard fusions, your 1 Washer, your 1 Rocket Ride, your 1 Battle Butler, and then this player also chose to play the Borreload Furious Dragon to break the Dragon Link board. So that's that, and the final list for you guys is, again, Prank Kids, but the slight changes between these 2 lists. Still opting for 3 Ash in the main deck. Pankratops, instead of being in the side like player B, is actually in the main deck. Triple Joel, again, standard. All the Prank Kids are here. The only difference with this was that they chose to only go with 1 copy of Roxy's, but chose to replace the other Roxy's with a 3rd copy of Place. You can kind of see the reason is pretty much the same thing. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I said, every Prank Kid player has their variation on how they want to play it, how many starters they want to play, and they just have pranks, literally Place and a Prank Kid is literally the same thing. So just standard stuff there. They chose to main deck the Gammas, just a very strong hand trap, so makes sense. Instant Fusion and the Desires is standard. The Triple Pandemonium is standard. The 2 pranks, and then they chose to main deck Triple Tactic Talents. This card is just really strong in this deck. Like, this card is just very good. Going first or going second can help you just even steal a game. Like, literally, if you could bait a Dragoon, you could literally take the Dragoon and basically OTK your opponent with their own monster. Plus, again, you only need 1 card starter, so it's very strong. Ice Dragon's Prison, standard to the other list, just one of the best trap cards in the game. The only thing that stood out was the 1 copy of Impermanence, and I was a little baffled by it, but then I saw that they actually side decked the other 2 copies, and it came down to how you side deck. A lot of times, like, you have to put weird ratios in the main deck to optimize for the side deck. So honestly, who knows? The Imperm could have came up a lot more than we know. So I think it's really cool that, you know, again, they kept it at 40 cards. And then the side deck, they chose to side the Dragostapelia because they are side decking the triple copies of Super Poly. Back row removal is 2 Cyclone and a Duster, as well as Twins. That will just clean up all the back row matchups. The other 2 Impermanences, again, when you side deck, this gives you more options. And Triple Judgment, again, for when going first. And then in the extra deck, the only differences are, since they're not putting Dragostapelia in the extra deck, they replaced it with Toad. And instead of doing the 3rd copy of Doodle Doo, they chose to play the Riproy Rooster. So those were the differences. So those were the 3 decks, you guys. And in all honesty, why did these 3 decks win the LCS number 13? It's because obviously Dragon Link, most represented, best deck of the format. That's pretty standard, but Prank Kids really have been proving their own worth this format. 1 card starters can play a ton of hand traps, can be built to really go against the format, and doesn't lose anything from their engine. Like, I think that's why this deck is so successful right now, is that they get to play the best hand traps in the game. They're all 1 card starters. They're not crippling their deck by adding too many hand traps or tech cards or trap cards or anything like that, and they're able to just do what they need to do every single game, stop the opponent from playing, and then just get complete control in the span of the game. I think the other thing that's really cool is that there was actually no copies of There Can Only Be One. If you notice, between the 2 Prank Kids list in player C and player B, there's none of them there, so they chose to go a different route. So I really like that they found ways to optimize the deck without playing a floodgate, so it's pretty cool. No Mystic Minds, I love it. Like, shout out to this team, shout out to BHES, you guys are awesome for winning LCS 13. And yeah, Prank Kids is going to continue to do well, you guys. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that this deck, is just, is going to continue to just steamroll through the format. Again, while Dragon Link is the most represented, a lot of players are prepared for that deck. You prepare for it in your main deck, your side deck, and you are ready for whatever your opponent brings your way. But I think it's really cool that Prank Kids has this success. Shout out to player A, player B, and player C for playing the decks you did. I think it's awesome that, along with Dragon Link, we see just how powerful Prank Kids can be, and two different builds, even though the card selection is almost identical, like you can really see like how different Prank Kids players play the deck and what will bring them success. But that's it for today, you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to smash that like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below as to why you feel Dragon Link as well as Prank Kids won LCS 13. Shout out to Hani and all the guys at Luxury. Really appreciate you guys for hosting another awesome tournament, and hopefully we'll be seeing a lot more just awesome deck lists coming forward in the next several events and stuff that'll be coming up. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.